Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome back to week 2 of
Breaking News.
Ooh, I'm Eric.
And I'm Gabrielle, and we have a quick little game for you. So Eric and I each have some news headlines on these pieces of paper, and some of them are real and some of them are fake, but they're all kind of wild. So you are gonna have to decide if you think it's real or fake. All right, you wanna give us the first one?
Yep, here's the first one. A chihuahua that can't walk befriends a bird that can't fly.
What do you guys think? 1, 2, 3.
Real.
Oh,
It's a real
I would
headline.
have definitely said fake.
I would have said fake too.
Okay.
All right, what's the second one?
12-year-old dog graduates from college. Didn't know dogs could go to college, but okay. 1, 2,
2,
3. Fake.
Ah, it's fake. I think it got some of you guys.
Probably.
It got me. I really thought dogs went to college.
Yeah, I mean, I could see it.
Okay, here's the third one. Ready? Man arrested for using his phone while riding a horse. Real or fake?
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
It's real.
Actually, that's what would have been my guess.
Yeah, I would have guessed real
Yeah.
too. It seems real.
Yeah. You can't like use your phone while you're driving a car, so what's the difference
No
with the
way,
horse?
right?
Okay. Next one. Cold weather in Florida could cause iguanas to fall from trees.
What do you
They are
think?
warm weather animals, so.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. It's real!
It's real?
Yeah,
I thought it
super
was
real.
fake.
Isn't that weird?
That's weird.
Super weird.
Okay, here's the last one. Are you guys ready? 10-month-old baby becomes first ever county sheriff.
That's a little strange. Okay, on 3, last one. 1, 2, 3.
It's fake.
Ah,
It's
that's probably
totally
a good
fake.
thing.
Yeah, baby being
Baby
sheriff.
probably doesn't need to be sheriff.
Yeah.
Well, before we get into our breaking news story for today, let's take some time to worship.
Yes.
All right, let's sing this together. I searched the world, but it couldn't fill me. Man's empty praise and treasures the faith are never enough. Then you came along, put me back together, and every desire is now satisfied here in your love. Sing, there's nothing, oh, there's nothing better than you. There's nothing better than you, Lord. There's nothing. Nothing is better than you. I'm not afraid to show you turn shame into glory. You're the only one who can. Sing that again. You turn mourning to dancing. You give beauty for ashes. You turn shame into glory. You're the only one who can. You turn rains into gardens. You turn bones into olives. You turn seas into highways. You're the only one who can. You're the only one who can. Oh, there's nothing better than you. There's nothing better than you, Lord. There's nothing. Nothing is better than you. There's nothing better. Oh, there's nothing better than you. There's nothing better than you, Lord. There's nothing. Nothing is better than you. Come on, sing it out. You turn rains into gardens. You turn mountains into olives. You turn seas into highways. You're the only one who can. Yes, you do. You turn rains into gardens, mountains into olives. Make your way through the seas. You're the only one who can. You're the only one who can. You're the only one who can. Put your hands together, let's give him praise.
All right, Eric. Last week you had a story for me, so this week I have a story for you. Are you ready for this?
I am.
Okay, before we dive in, imagine this. You're at soccer practice and your coach sits you down and he tells you that he wants you to play in the game next week, which is a huge win. But he says that if he's going to put you in the game, he needs you to work really hard every day at home for 2 hours a day, which is a lot. Yikes. With a fake smile on your face, you say, okay, I'll do that. And you head home. But once you're home, you decide there's no way I'm doing that. The next week, you show up to your game and pretend like you worked really hard all week.
Well, it sounds pretty nice to have a lazy week, but it also sounds like I didn't do what I said I was going to do. Like I told my coach one thing and then I went and did another.
Yeah, exactly. Now, that's a pretty silly example, but we're learning today about what being sincere means. When we're sincere, what we say matches what we do. In that example, we said we were going to work really hard, but what we said did not actually match what we did at home.
So let me guess. We're about to read about some people in the Bible who had to learn a lesson about being sincere, aren't we?
Yep, you got it.
Yeah.
In our story today, a prophet named Amos is going to call the people of Israel out for not being sincere in their worship. So pause this video and read Amos chapter 5, verses 18 through 24 as a class, and come back and let's talk about it.
So Gabrielle, it sounds like Amos was telling the people of Israel that God was not pleased with them because their worship wasn't sincere. But I thought the Israelites were going to religious festivals and praying to God. Isn't that worship?
Well, you're right, Eric. They would show up at the religious festivals and worship God, but then when they went home, they would live however they wanted to. You see, worship isn't just something that happens at church, and it's not just singing and dancing. You also worship God in the way you live your life. When you're living how God wants you to, that's worship.
So the Israelites were worshiping God with their word, but not with their actions?
Exactly.
See, that reminds me of a verse in Luke 10:27 that says, "Love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your strength and with all your mind." It kind of sounds like the Israelites weren't choosing to truly worship God with all their heart, soul, mind, and strength.
Exactly. I love that verse.
Yeah.
They may have had the right words to say when they were worshiping, but worship way back then and worship now has always been about more than saying all the right words to God. It's turning around and living out those right words each and every day in real and loving ways. That's what it means to be sincere.
Okay, so basically being sincere is when what we say with our words matches what we do with our actions.
Yep.
Okay, so what does this practically look like?
That's a great question. Well, one example might be that when we say at church that we want to love our families better because God has asked us to, that means we go home and we speak kindly to our sister when she frustrates us. Or when our parents tell us to say we're sorry to our brother for something we did, we give them a real and sincere apology, one we actually mean. And when we tell our soccer coach that we're going to practice hard all week to be ready for the game, we go home and we practice all week in the backyard.
Yeah, being sincere sounds kind of hard, to be honest. But I also get it. God wants our whole hearts, not just on Sundays and not just when it's convenient.
Wow, Eric, it sounds like you've caught on pretty quick. Now let's check out Grow TV and see if Carl can catch on as well.
Yeah.
This just in. My name is Carl, and you are my little chicken nuggets. And today, it's gonna be a great day.
Welcome to Grow TV, hosted by Carl, where we have fun with our friends, talk about Jesus, and go over everything the Bible has to offer. Now once again, welcome to Grow TV.
Hey there, kiddos. So glad you tuned in today. We have a lot to talk about. But first, I want to go over something that's very exciting. Do you know how many words there are out there? I mean, there's literally hundreds and thousands of words out there in the universe. And we don't even use half of them or even know about them. Don't believe me? Let's play a game called What's That Word? I'll read a word aloud, and you have to guess what it means. Ready? Let's get it. The first word is bumfuzzle. Bum. Okay. This sounds like a word we would describe if we sat down on a chair too hard. Or maybe the funny last name of a football player. Let's see what it actually means. Bumfuzzle, to be flustered, confused, or perplexed. Ha! How cool is that? I get bumfuzzled all the time. Our next word is gardyloo. Man, that's a fun one. If I were to guess what this word was, I would say it's either a city in England, the feeling you get when you're picked first in a game, or the name of a group of flamingos. Let's see what gardyloo actually means. Gardyloo is a Scottish phrase one would yell out the window before throwing their old slop out. Could you imagine just walking down the road and all of a sudden you hear gardyloo, and you look up and you see 4-week-old haggis and mashed potatoes hit you right in the face. Yuck. All right, last word. This word isn't as funny, but I read it this morning and it drove me crazy trying to figure out what it meant. The word is sincere. Sincere. Now, when I first read it, I jumped back in my chair because I figured it had to be a bad word, considering the word starts off with the word sin. You see, I don't know if this word is a good word, a bad word, or a funny word like bumfuzzle. I just don't know.
Hey, Carl.
Hey, Cassie. How's it going?
Pretty good. What are y'all up to?
Well, we're trying to figure out what this word means.
What word is that?
Sincere, because I'm 130% certain that it is a bad word.
I can assure you it's not.
Cassie, it has the word sin in it. How do you explain that?
Well, I guess I can't, but the word means to be honest and genuine.
Could you use that in a sentence?
All right. When Amos was talking in Amos chapter 5,
Oh, I still don't get it.
you see, in that time, Amos was a prophet, and the people of Israel weren't loving and worshiping God like they were supposed to.
They weren't? How so?
They probably thought they were worshiping God in the right way because they sang songs of praise and gave offerings to God.
Is that not worship? I mean, of course that's not... Why don't you go ahead and explain to everybody why that would not be worship per se?
Well, it is worship, but in their case, it wasn't real. The people in Amos's day would worship God and say how much they love God, but then their lives didn't show that they love God at all.
Oh, I see what you mean. Because worship isn't about what we just say, it's about what we do.
Yeah, exactly. When we say we love God in our worship, we have to back that up with our actions. That includes being kind to others and generally trying our best to live in a way that pleases God.
Wow, so worship isn't just about what we do at church. It's about how we live our lives?
Yep, and that's where the word sincere comes in. We show that we're sincere when what we say matches what we do.
Being sincere sounds awesome. I'm gonna try to be more sincere with everyone. But the most important thing is, when I worship God, I can be sincere.
Hey Carl, that's our big idea.
This just in, that's our big idea.
Today's big idea is, when I worship God, I can be sincere.
So let's say it all out loud on the count of 3. Ready? 1,
2,
3. When I worship God, I can be sincere. Yeah. Whoa, I can be sincere. And so can you. And Cassie, too. Sincere. Well, thanks for the help today, Cassie.
no problem. I love having the chance to hang out with my favorite flibbertigibbet.
Excuse me?
You've never heard that word before?
No, that's not a word, is it? It can't be. Is it? Flibbertigibbet? Flibbertigibbet? Flibbertigibbet?
Thanks for watching, kids. See you next week.
Flubbertubby cuppet.
Thank you for watching, and tune in next week for a new episode of Pro TV.
Do you know what time it is?
I think I do.
What time is it?
It's game time.
It's game time. And we have another game suggestion for you. This week, we recommend that you play Museum.
Ooh.
If you don't know how to play Museum, super easy. You need to pick one person to be the museum guard. That person gets to move around the room as freely and as much as they want to move around. Everyone else gets to be a museum statue. Now, museum statues, you can only move when the museum guard isn't looking at you. And your goal is to move as much and as silly and most ridiculous ways as you possibly can. But don't get caught. If the museum guard sees you moving, you're out for the round. And you're gonna play until there's only one statue left.
Ooh.
Have fun.
See you next week.